All right, Paul, it's time to take we're already coffee breaking. We're starting with how your way of thinking can impact your overall health.
Okay, do you guys consider yourselves optimist, pessimist? Where do we fall?
Optimist.
I think I'm an optimist, but I'm kind of in the middle. My husband's like a true optimist, so I kind of come a
You're
little
like a
bit.
I'm
realist.
with you. I think I'm more of a
Is there a
realist.
realist
I
option?
think I'm between an optimist and realist.
Okay.
But I'm not a pessimist. Okay. A new study found an interesting difference, though, between optimists and pessimists. So the study found that optimists shared similar patterns of brain activity when they imagined future events. But each pessimist's brain patterns was unique. So they're all pessimistic in a unique way, but everybody who's optimistic is kind of thinking the same thing.
Okay.
It also found that more optimistic people perceive a clear distinction between good and bad futures in their brain, when pessimists kind of register it to all be the same.
It's all bad.
Yeah, it's all kind of bad. Prior studies have shown that optimists have larger social networks and higher acceptance by their peers, so they wanted to see if social success is because of their personality, or if optimists share a fundamental brain mechanism that makes it easier for them to form social connections because all their brains look similar. Optimism is associated with better physical, mental, and social health.
Look, I think based on the job that we do, I would say we're all optimists. I think we do have to be realistic. We see things, I think, from a much harsher point of view sometimes,
we see the
because we
darkest
see
side
the
of it.
worst parts of things, right? And I think from my years of being out in the field covering so many breaking news stories, I have a tendency when I go into a restaurant, like checking where the exits are, like I do that type of thing. But overall, my personality, I think I would be optimistic.
Yeah, you have like a good view of the future.
Yeah.
The only thing I feel like is once I became a mom, I started to worry more about the things that I shouldn't be worrying about. Like, looking towards something 2 weeks down the line, well, how am I going to figure out how to get this person to this? And it's like, it's 2 weeks from now.
Sure.
Worry about it that day. There's
Well,
nothing
you know
you can
what?
do.
They said that was actually the positive of still having pessimists, because they were saying it got really complicated. But optimists essentially saying, why did evolution keep pessimists if optimism is
because we kept you from like jumping off that cliff.
Yes, because if we go through the river, somebody has to say there might be gators.
Right.
So that's you, Christine.
Right.
There you go.
Keeping us alive.
Keeping you from getting eaten by a gator.
Thank you.
All right, well, Trader Joe's hasn't made its way across the pond yet, but the British seem to love its signature tote bags.
Really?
Those tote
So
bags.
according
seems
to
so
the
American.
I love this.
I know.
According to the New York Times, Trader Joe's logo bags have become a status symbol in the UK.
Stop.
So move over Louis Vuitton, right? In order to get them, though, they must either travel to the States or purchase them at retail websites like eBay, where you have some on there that are just like 10 euros,
Sure,
right? So they're
fine.
not really marking them up, but some have there are hundreds of euros
No way.
to get this tote. And there were people talking in the New York Times who are like expats living in London, right?
Yeah.
They go home, they buy a bunch of Trader Joe's
Sure.
bags, bring them back to their friends, and their friends treat them like they're gold.
Oh, that's
They're
so
like, I
funny.
paid $4 for it, and my friends
Think it's the most
carrying
amazing
that
thing
around
ever.
like it's a Gucci bag.
Sure.
Well, you know what's funny is we recently had some friends visiting us from Australia, and we took them to Trader Joe's
They wanted
for
to
the
go.
first time.
Yeah.
You should have seen the three of them in a Trader
were
Joe's.
excited at
They were
Trader
like,
Joe's?
Look at these strawberries. Like everything was
I mean,
magic.
the first time I went to Trader Joe's, it was an experience. It's a fun store.
Did they also love how incredibly friendly?
Yeah, they're like
everybody's
everybody's
so nice and friendly.
You got to go in there and be ready to discuss your day because they're going to
Yeah,
ask.
they're gonna
Exactly.
ask.
I
No,
think they're
lovely.
trained that way, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
They
that's
are.
great. Okay, the internet is divided over how certain people say it's best to butter your toast.
Okay.
Oh, we even
Break
can't
it
agree
down.
on this.
We
huh?
Let's
cannot
fight
agree
over
on
butter,
this.
'cause I love butter.
Okay, so do you keep the butter in the fridge or on the counter? That's the first.
Fridge.
Okay. Do you?
It's a Midwest thing, though, right? To keep it out?
You keep it out?
I don't. I mean, I used to, but now that Doug and I are together, I don't.
So it might be like a Midwest
It could
thing.
be. Yeah, you put it like in the little dish with the
And you
little
just
cover
leave
on
it
it. And you
there.
leave
But
it
it's got
because
but
then
it's a dairy product.
That's how I feel, but it actually can stay out. My brother's like a food connoisseur. And
Yes.
he's like, you don't have to refrigerate.
And if you keep it out, the argument is it's then soft to put on your toast.
Right.
I
makes
do
it
like
easier.
that aspect.
So, okay, if you both keep it in the fridge,
Yeah.
as do I at this point in my life, how do you take one little slab of butter to
Yeah.
butter or do you take the entire stick and rub the stick of butter over the toast?
In
take a
adulthood,
slab.
I use a knife, but did I back in the day take the thing and rub it? But then I'd be pissed when I came back and the butter was all grumbly.
Well, you're
Yeah.
you're like the TikTokers. 'cause
Grumbly?
this
Is that a
apparently-
word?
Yeah,
I don't know.
I was
funny. That's what I call my old pit bull who's 14. It's like
Grumbly?
a nickname I've made up for him because he's like grouchy and old. Call him Grumbly.
Poor butter.
I meant crumbly.
The one thing though that drives me nuts is if you go to a restaurant and they give you like frozen cold butter.
Wait,
and
you
stuff,
can't do anything
it's like
with it.
why?
No.
And that's why I love Dupars for their pancakes gifts because they bring you melted
gifts,
butter.
look at you,
dropping
right, get
names.
specific
I know
on it.
I'm not getting paid for that.
This
but-
is a place to get pancakes from? I don't know.
well,
Ducars.
unfortunately, there's only we used to have one closer, but now you just have to go to the original farmers market at the Grove.
Oh, I've
and
seen
they
that,
give you
but
the
I haven't
butter,
been.
and it's already melted.
Well, that's
So you
lovely.
just pour it on.
Yeah, that's
It's a
lovely.
big pet. My husband likes. It's like he has bread with his butter. Like he puts
Yeah, me
so much
too.
butter
Oh,
on
me
everything.
too.
He dips.
But he's
crackers
also from
in-
the Midwest,
He's from the
isn't he? Yeah.
Midwest. He dips saltine crackers in butter.
That's
and all
amazing.
That.
I love
when I was
butter.
sick, that's what that
He
was
gets
my
so
favorite.
mad if the butter is cold.
Well, I know, so that's why I do see the argument for keeping it on the counter, especially if it's covered and in the little
Right.
container,
Yeah.
because it's always soft.
I do
So
have
the
enough stuff on my
TikTokers
counter
are doing
though.
that. I think that's because they're young. I did that when I was
These
young.
Gen Zers,
You don't care if
they're
the
gonna
butter's
change
dirty
everything.
when you're young. I'm too old for that now.
That's today's
We
coffee
don't want it to
break.
get grumbly.
Right.
Now you can get your Kcal news, weather, and live stream all in one place on the CBS News app. Download it free today.